Which choice best describes data from the graph that weakens the student's conclusion? To investigate the effect of lizard predation on spider populations, a student in a biology class placed spiders in two enclosures, one with lizards and one without, and tracked the number of spiders in the enclosure for 30 days. The student concluded that the reduction in spider population count in the enclosures with lizards by day 30 was entirely attributable to the presence of lizards. So the claim the student makes here is that the reduction in the spider population in the enclosure with lizards was entirely attributable to the presence of lizards. And we're looking for data from the graph that weakens the student's conclusion. So let's look at the answer choices. A. The spider population count was the same in both enclosures on day 1. So this is incorrect because this wouldn't show that the reduction in the spider population was entirely attributable to the presence of lizards, because this simply is a fact that they both had the same initial spider population. So because this doesn't weaken the student's conclusion, A is incorrect. B. Spider population count also substantially declined by day 30 in the enclosure without lizards. So this seems to be the correct answer, because looking at this graph, we can see that it highlights the spider population count, and it has two enclosures, the one without lizards and the one with lizards. So the one without lizards is in gray, the one with lizards is in black. So the claim in B is that the spider population count substantially declined in day 30 in the enclosure without lizards. So the enclosure without lizards is gray, and we can clearly see that this gray bar is decreasing over time. So it is true that the spider population count substantially declined by day 30 in the enclosure without lizards, and this would disprove the student's claim that the decline in the spider population in the enclosure with lizards was entirely attributable to the presence of lizards, because in the enclosure without lizards, the spider population also decreased, so there's some natural decrease in the decline of spider population, which means that it isn't entirely due to the lizards that the spider population is declining. So B seems to be the correct answer. C. The largest decline in spider population count in the enclosure with lizards occurred from day 1 to day 10. So this is incorrect because this doesn't weaken the student's conclusion. It merely mentions a data fact from the graph, and this doesn't highlight the enclosure without lizards and how the spider population in this enclosure decreased as well. So we can eliminate answer choice C. D. The spider population count on day 30 was lower in the enclosure with lizards than in the enclosure without lizards. So this is incorrect because although this is true that based on the data and day 30, the spider count on day 30 was lower in the enclosure with lizards, so this black bar here is lower in the enclosure with the lizards than in the enclosure without lizards, so this black bar is lower than this gray bar, which is true. But this doesn't prove that the reduction in the spider population was entirely due to the presence of lizards. This would be true if it highlighted how the spider count decreased in the enclosure without lizards. But because this answer choice does not do that, we can eliminate answer choice D. And with that, we know that the correct answer is B.